Hey guys, what's going on? We're still waiting for Austin. He's running a little bit late. I think we may have miscommunicated the times, or maybe he thought I was going on a different time. But hopefully he'll pop up. It gives me a chance to talk to you guys anyway. Joe's Castro's working on some cool stuff for Spawn Scare Fest in a few weeks. He's actually working on Danny's Part Two death scene from Nightmare on Elm Street 5. Let's see if I can pull it up. Um, Lonnie McCollum did a great job with that. So, yeah, I'm real excited about this piece. Give me 1 second here, and I will add it on. So this piece is sick. Joe's working on redoing this for the photo ops. And all right, here it is. Awesome piece. Really, really cool piece. Can't wait to see it in person. It should be here. There's a bigger one, a smaller one. I didn't realize I had two coming, which is cool. So we'll have those on the table with Danny. He's going to be doing the photo ops. Joe's showing me his updated work that he's working on with the transformation he's going to be giving Danny. He's also doing the other part that you guys all saw at Scarefest. I don't know if I have that handy right now. What's going on, Tony? Good to see you. Sorry, I'm running late. I kind of lost track of time, and I was talking to Joe. He was showing me some things too, and yeah, I'm a little rusty at this, and I'm sure Austin will show up, or maybe he's having trouble with his internet, but we will find out. And yeah, pretty cool stuff. Can't wait to see this in person. Like I said, the piece by Lonnie should be coming in this week. There are the pieces, and yeah, we're getting ready to roll. I move into the new house on the 1st. Hey, what's up, Meredith? How you been? Are you going to Are you going to Kansas City Crypticon? I'm not vending there, but I'm definitely going to show up. My parents will be around, and I'll definitely if you're there, could hang out with you and and do so. Oh, here's Austin now. So we're gonna talk a little bit with Austin. I haven't had him on in a while. He was just in the final season in an episode of Stranger Things. He's a writer, actor, funny guy, great personality. It'll be awesome, really catching up with him. He's got a comic series that I've read, and he's got a new thing. I'm looking forward to talking to him. It's the same. I'm not sure if it's expanding on the story, but it's tying into a whole bunch of things. I'm excited to talk to him about it. It's called Zombies. We're Too Human. So, oh, you're not going, but it's Zombies. We're Too Human, and I'm looking forward to catching up with Austin. I love the way the issues I've read for Zombies We're Too Human came out. It's a really unique style of writing and art, and we're going to talk more about it. So without making him sit around in the background, I got to catch up with my buddy. It's been too long. Austin Janowsky. And it's there we go. What's up,
Oh yeah,
man?
it's been too long. My God, it's been
It has
forever.
been a while. It's been a long while, man. I mean, we used to run into each other a lot. You've been so busy. You've been crushing it, Mr. Stranger Things.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's funny, like since 2023 kind of leveled up and besides Stranger Things, like Bad Monkey and another TV series and film and yeah, it's just kind of yeah.
I mean, I hear you, but I'm not sure if it could be my computer. It's been acting wonky, and I think it might be going through my computer. So if anybody in the chat, are you guys hearing Austin okay? Are you hearing us okay?
Yeah, I mean I can try to fix it.
Well, I don't, it might just be on my end because I got a different screen up here, and it sounds like it's coming from
Oh,
this screen, the sound. So it might be the screen I got using that's kicking out sound. I don't know.
yeah.
My computer's on the fritz. I got to get it fixed.
Well, that's always not
It's
fun.
always a good time. Yeah. Yeah. Just decided to kick out on me. I can kind of, sometimes it wants to work. So, okay. So everybody hears us good. So I can hear you. It just sounded off on my end. But if everybody can hear you, that's great. So Tony said she can hear you.
Sweet.
So yeah, man, it's been a long time. You've been doing quite a few conventions in your area. You've been traveling around. Um, so many new roles you've had. So many Stranger Things. I know that was a big deal, and that was super cool to be on that show. That was awesome. You're like, that's my dude.
Yeah.
That was a good. That was really cool.
it's nice to be able to, now that it's out, be able to talk about it, because I filmed. So for people trying to understanding film, usually when you get a role, you book a role, it happens within the next few months. You're going to go in your film at the latest. So when I auditioned, this was in 2023, and all the strikes were going on, writer strike and actor strike and director strike. And so we sat around for a long time, which is one of the reasons why Stranger Things took so long to come out, is because they lost a whole year trying to have everyone, agree on what they wanted to agree on. So once they, signed all the contracts, auditions started coming out. I auditioned in November of 2023, but I auditioned for 3 roles. It was the dad role, Mr. Miller. It was the scientist role, the one that got bashed in the head in the cave. And then one of the main MPs, I can't remember which one, but it was like, small lines. And then in February of 2024, I was on a commercial shoot, and that's when I found out I was in the mix. I was pinned. And for those who don't understand, when you're pinned for TV or film, your photo is literally pinned on a wall that producers look at, and they're trying to figure out exactly how to use you. They want to use you. They're just not sure how they're going to go out doing it. And watching the documentaries for Stranger Things, they're still kind of writing on the fly, kind of figuring things out too. So from late February, I was pinned for the entire year. I was on hold until December, but I didn't start shooting until late June of 2024. So I sat around for a long time waiting and figuring things out. So, and then not able to say anything or even mention it for a good year, a little over a year, till it finally comes out, which is, so good.
Oh, well, it was really, I mean, the biggest show really on the planet at the time. Definitely the biggest Netflix show, one of the most popular television series of all time. That'd be a thrill, man. That'd be a thrill. And being in those parts and having speaking roles too, I know how far that goes with, your business and what you do as an actor or writer. Getting your foot in the door in a show like that is enormous.
Yeah, I mean, what I filmed more than what they showed. Maybe that's kind of what happens for pacing or trying to figure things out. So yeah, any speaking role is a really good speaking role. And Stranger Things was like my top 5 all-time pie in the sky. If I ever could possibly book anything, this was the one thing. I mean, like Star Wars and superheroes, like, is right along with it. But yeah, Stranger Things, I love the series, growing up in the 80s. So yeah, just being able to be a part of it in any form or fashion is just incredible.
Yeah, it definitely gave the member berries. I grew up, I was 76, so the 80s get to see. I always love shows like that where you just see things that bring all the old member berries, along and stuff. And how did you know at first when you were auditioning for it that it was for Stranger Things, or was it kind of on the down low and you kind of found out after, or you did know it was for Stranger Things?
Well, they called it Cedar Lodge. That was the name that they were using. And after we read for it, my agent's like, I think it's for Stranger Things. That's what that's their detective work that kind of figured things out. So we had an idea what we were reading for ahead of time. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something, millions and millions and millions of people saw you in it. That was really cool. I was really happy for you when I found out, because I knew it came out, and then once I heard on top that you were in it too, it was really cool to see on the screen. Because I was a few days behind it. I've been so behind on things, but I was like, all right, now I got to catch up on each episode, which was shortly after it came out. Yeah, it was really cool to see, man. I was so happy for you, because I know it was such. I remember you posting something. I landed like years ago. I landed something big. I can't talk about it.
Yeah,
I could tell you were through the roof with it. So
that Krypt message,
me and you have been friends for a while, pals for a while. How's the family? How's everybody doing?
Everyone's good. Family's good, and everyone's healthy, thank goodness. And my wife, it keeps getting promotions and just crushing where she works. She works for a big global software company, SAP, and she just, she's doing fantastic. So that's always good. And Yeah, adult children, they're great. You know, I've got one in Arizona, and I have my granddaughter. She's going to be 9. I can't believe it. They're great. So yeah, no man, everyone's good. How about you? How was as a family?
Well, everything's good. My parents are doing well. They'll be at Spawn and Scare Fest, which I'll be at, and they're
Nice.
gonna spend some time out here because I bought a house, and so they're gonna be staying upstairs. It's got a downstairs finish, so I'm
Oh,
gonna give them the upstairs and let them do their thing. And it's nice to have a house that they can come to because they love to travel with me. When I was doing a lot of cons, I've slowed down on them this year,
yeah.
but for them to have a place and us to spend time, and my job is like a big part of me, and they love the people I work with, so it's exciting for them. It's my mom enjoys it. She loves spending time and coloring and singing and doing all this other stuff. So it's really cool. They're doing great. My mom's doing well. She's still my mom. You remember my mom?
Oh, I do. Oh,
She's doing probably physically better than she was when you saw her then.
oh,
And
that's
I thank the conventions a lot for that because it kind of
yeah.
gave her something exciting to do and a reason to get out and want to be more active. And my dad's still about the same too, and they're both doing really good, and excited to see them in about a week. And yeah, like I said, this is the first convention for me this year, so
Oh, okay.
I feel very rusty, but we got some really exciting things going on, and I'm really excited about it. And we're doing a documentary of the table. I want to have those memories with my parents. So,
That's so cool,
but
dude.
this is about you
Oh,
and this Kickstarter you're working on, and I'm
yeah.
really excited about it because I've always loved zombies. We're human too, and I think it's just such a unique style that you wrote it in, and the way you present the story. Because like I told you when I first talked to you, when I met you at Phantasm years ago in Orlando,
Oh, yeah.
and I bought your comic, and I was looking at them. I looked at the pages before I read it. Just kind of like, why is some color? Why is some black and white?
Yeah.
And I know we've talked about it before, but why don't you explain to some of these people, what the concept is, and this new project that are you kind of integrating kind of your experience with Stranger Things into the new issues, or is it? I want to learn more about it too.
No, I mean, this is a continuation of the zombies were human to world that we're kind of in. So I created the series to tell zombie stories before and how they became zombies, kind of like the origin stories of zombies through the eyes of survivors, which started as 3 teenagers to try to calm themselves down and not be so scared of such dangerous situations that they find themselves in. Who these zombies were before, how long they might have lasted and how they might have died in a funny, crazy, or ironic way. That was the idea. So the difference between color and black and white was the color was the main storyline. The zombie stories are all done in black and white. They're done by different writers and artists, but it's one continuous storyline through each graphic novel. We've done 300-page graphic novels so far, and we've peppered in some exclusive comic books by some creators. So we've got about over 350 total. This Kickstarter is my first one in, goodness, about almost a year. And it's a continuation on the idea of Zombies Were Human too, but it's all brand new survivors. It's a group that is going to be coming in, and they're going to be checking out a new area. And they heard about a strip mall, but as they see a strip mall, they also see a hospital. So then they split up into 2 groups. So we're doing 2 graphic novels. One's going to be the strip mall, the other one's going to be the hospital. Same thing, main story color, zombie stories by mostly new writers and artists, which is very, very cool. My comic series, we have professionals, we have amateurs, some people that have always just wanted to just get published. We have writers, we have directors, we have actors, we have novelists. So we have a conglomerate of different creatives in the comic series too, which I think is also cool. So to get this Kickstarter that we're running is focusing on a really amazing writer, Jonathan Hendrick. I met him about 6-7 years ago. He did a zombie comic book. Since then, he got in with Scout Comics. He created a series called The Recount, which blew the doors and for sales and everything, got optioned for a film. He's run a bunch of different comics for multiple different genres now. So we took a couple of his best zombie stories and we're doing an exclusive. One of his stories is called Beyond the Gutter, and Francisco, I'm going to pronounce your last name, Quinta, I believe his last name. Hopefully I said it right. He did the artwork for one, and then Bram Stoker winner Stefano Caroselli did the other art for the story called Dead Weight. So that's what the comic book's about. It's showcasing Jonathan's amazing writing style while introducing his first one, Beyond the Gutter, which is going to be in the graphic novel, the strip mall. So it's kind of like an introduction to the graphic novel that we're going to be doing a campaign for later on down the road.
And I love that you do that for, you know, because you've got a great group of friends that you work with. And I've seen a lot of the projects, and that's the one thing I really love about, and I dropped the link for everybody if they don't get a chance. Why is it not showing on here? I'm going to drop it one more time, but it's not showing. It said it didn't show on Facebook, but we're going to share that out again if it does it again. But I love how you incorporate, because you're an amazing artist, amazing writer. I love how you involve your friends and your artists, the people you know are artists, writers, etc., to be a real part of this. And it kind of fits the narration of what you do, a group of survivors coming together and making up their own stories. So you get to hear different stories by different people writing different things and different artists and their way of a style of doing their art. And I think it really comes together well. And I think that's what really glued me to it. The mime issue episode, I don't know what it is, the mime story and the cover it always just stands out to me. It's one of my favorite parts of it.
Yeah, that's Stan Yak, and Anthony wrote the story, but Stan did the artwork. Stan has done more zombie stories for the series than pretty much anybody else. So we're going to be doing, and we did an exclusive before with him, but we're doing a new one with him because he's done some more stories. We're going to do another exclusive for him coming after we do the one for the graphic novel. And to get to your point, I've been lucky to make some really good friends over the years. I've done this for 30 plus years. I've been able to tip my toe in the water, mainstreams and inker flight for Marvel, DC, and Image, you know, Iron Man, all that sort of stuff. But I thoroughly enjoy writing and creating my own books, my own content, you know, more than working for other people. So being able to collaborate with friends, new and old, and get with people who've always wanted to be, you know, in comic books, get published by comics, and being able to fulfill that for them is just the best thing ever, at least for me.
I'm sure they feel the same way. And it's got to be just a lot of fun working with them on a story like this. I mean, it's the ultimate collaboration piece. And that's, like I said, again, that's what I really love about it, is the collaboration. And it does feel fresh. Each story does feel fresh and what you're doing with it. And you guys, if you haven't read it, like I said, I dropped a Kickstarter. You got to check it out. At least give it a read. Read the first issue. Are you still doing the first issue on the Kickstarter, or where you can get active with it?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So for the Kickstarter, we are about just a little over $100 needed to reach our minimum funding goal that covers the art for the book. But for those who have never gotten or anything or want to know more, we have digital copies in the add-on section. You have rewards and add-ons. But you can get pretty much all 3 graphic novels and all sorts of different things. So you can really catch yourself up on the entire world of Zombies Were Human 2 with the Kickstarter as well.
Well, you know, I'll be supporting. I've always, and I love the perks you give with certain packages you do. You always have some really cool stuff. And you could get original art pieces. I know with a lot of the bundles you get, like you said, the digitals, you can get different covers. You always have different covers and variant covers, and there's just so much that you guys really put into it, a lot of thought and a lot of time and effort. And you know, it's never easy crowdfunding, but you do so well at it. And I do believe it's one of those crowdfunding projects that you're working on that's special and that people should contribute, especially if you're a reader, especially if you like zombies, and just in general storytelling. And it's from a human survival, whether it's zombies or whatever, finding a way to find something away from the pain and making it a way to live on top of surviving.
It's one of the most unique type of zombie storylines that you can find. That you're seeing the zombies themselves, right? But you're finding out that there's a backstory to who these zombies are. Whether it's true or not, people are making up the story to do so. And also, the continuous storyline is something different. When people see new, writers and artists doing different zombie stories, like, oh, it's an anthology. And that's not the case. You have your main characters, they're telling zombie stories, reacting to telling the story, and then moving along with the main storyline to get to the end goal at the end of the graphic novel, and then we go on to the next one. So
yeah, so you can almost pick up, and you told me that because you didn't have issue 1 when I first met you.
Yeah.
When you were at Orlando, and you're like, you're not really missing anything because each thing is its own, in a sense, it's its own storyline. So even supporting this, you're not going to be you're going to catch on real quick once they're, and that's what I love with the color. And then when it's in the black and white, it's an easy transition to really catch on. Because sometimes comic books for people, like when I first started reading comics as an older person, and I got into more of the graphic novels more than the superheroes, more, zombie comics always captured me, and really, more adult themed things. You almost got to learn to read them, and the way the color schemes and the pages and the panels you do it, and the transition really helps it flow nicely as a reader.
Well, yeah. That's kind of like the whole plan. That's what we try to kind of do, make the main storyline very interesting, but then have zombie stories themselves are unique, but having ones that are a little funny or a little crazy, there's a little horror to the zombie things. There's some scary parts to it, but also some funny things also. So it's the kind where like teenagers can read, parents can be comfortable with them reading. There's a little blood. It's not super gore. It's not over the top, right? To me, it's just enough that I think from the first graphic novel to the third one, we kind of really refined exactly what the right combination ingredients to do it. And now we're firing on all cylinders. And this comic book definitely shows it.
Yeah, because you do. I'd say it's a great introduction for young preteens or people reading and enjoy, like, where you don't want them to be scared, but they're interested in zombies. It's a great read where it's a reading source. It's a human source, and there's zombies in it, but it's not over the top graphic. You're not going to have a bunch of curse words, and it's not The Walking Dead where you're going to have F this or F that or something like that. But it's grounded. It's got a really good story to it, and it's well written that, like you said, everybody can read it and find enjoyment to it. It's not made for kids. It's not made for adults. It really is made for everybody.
It's made for horror fans. That's what it's really made for, and especially for those who love the zombie genre, they'll love it because it's a completely different take on and something you have not seen before.
And it's a great way, and parents, it's a great way to connect that are horror fans, but I don't want to introduce my kid to this or that yet. But it's a good read for kids that get that quality moments with your parents and be able to enjoy something together that you can do together. And I know that's a big part of what you do, because you do the Stanley the Snowman, and you always put family in. I don't want to say you're the PG guy, but you're well thought out, and you put everything into stories, but you try to make it for everybody. You don't make it for a certain person or this or that. You make it for families, you make it for adults. And it's interesting. And as me, I just loved reading it. Once I started it, I couldn't put it down. And I always look forward to the new issues coming in and catching up on them. And they sit with you. Like certain images always, like I said, the art style and the story style was really good. Like the mime one stuck out to me. And there's so many good stories like that. But it was just, you'll find a different story and a different way somebody tells something. Be like, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. And there's so much variety with it, which I think, I don't know, I just really think that's cool. I think it's genius.
Thanks, man. And then, it's hard with Kickstarters to try to make, everyone has all these different ones. So, the rewards and the tiers, like you said, we've got, original artwork, we've got cover stuff, we've got commissions. I've peppered some Stranger Things stuff that people, if they're interested in Stranger Things or if they want to get something from me, they're able to do that too. There's digital stuff that you can get. Just there's a variety. Like if you know retailers, we got stuff for retailers. I try to make it as easy as possible. We try to make it as, you know, somewhat affordable that we can make some money, but you're not like, you know, breaking the bank to do it also.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, your perks that you have on the Kickstarter are always fantastic, budget friendly. I mean, you definitely get bang for your buck, and you get a quality, you know. And a lot of people put things out, and some are good, some. But I always stand behind whatever Austin does because everything he does, I've enjoyed so far. I really do. Like I always forget the name of something park that you and Joe Davison did. I love that series that you were doing. That might be a little more adult. You can find that on YouTube, but you always play that great character. You got that I want to say Chevy Chase type deal where you come off as a straight arrow, or even Will Ferrell where you kind of have that straight arrow look, but you got a really good sense of timing and comedy, and you know, just you put it together well. You just have that special quality. There's a few people that I've been able to meet that have that, and I think it's really, really cool. It's something that I think there's always a need for it in roles, and I think that's where you fit in really well with your role in Stranger Things.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of dad roles now. That's what I'm finding. A lot of between the commercials I booked this year are dad roles, and a couple of the other ones that I've gotten close to, you know, for some producers are dad roles, and that's fine with me because I'm a dad. And
I think it's great, especially with the holidays. The dads are usually the staple part of it, and I think with movies, somebody filling those roles and making their mark and being known for it. There's a lot of people that were known for just that, and usually the funniest people. I mean, in the movie, really, because you got to play that. You got to play off everybody else. You got to try to keep that straight lace, but you also got to add your touch, your little bit of comedy and this and that, and you do it well, where it's not over the top. It's not. You do a straight faced comedy really, really well.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate
the lawyer, the agent type deal, you know, the dad role. I mean, you fit those kind of things, I think, perfectly.
Thanks, man.
I could see a detective too. Detective.
Yeah. Oh, funny you should mention that. So there's a horror film called The Knock Knock Man that came out through Joseph Mazzaferro. He does these really not B-rate, you know, not B horror movies. They're good. You know, they're Tubi horror films. You know what I mean? That's not a knock.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I played a detective in that role, and that was a lot of fun. It wasn't a big role, but yeah, I played detective, and I've got a role as a detective for suspense horror that I can't talk about, but we're in the middle of filming that right now too. So it's funny that you mentioned that. I did 2 detective roles within the last year. So, and I would love that. My roles, I would love to be detective. I would love to be a doctor in any sort of TV series. I think that would be pretty cool.
I could see that. I mean, you fit the bill on a lot of that kind of stuff. Private Eye. You were the lawyer in the show that I really liked. You and Joe did. What was it? Something Park.
Central, yeah.
Central Park. Yeah, that was just funny. I mean, your role was hilarious.
Yeah,
that was really good. I hope you guys continue with that project down the road. It just had a really good quality that I really liked the humor in it. It kind of had the Always Sunny in Philadelphia /
exactly, yeah,
that kind of vibe, and I enjoyed it. I thought you were fantastic, and I've seen you in other roles playing teachers or principals or what else did you play? You were a student advisor in one role, right?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, a student counselor. My God, yeah, my goodness. There's that one. The most recent doctor role was in AMC's TV series Grits that came out at the same time as Stranger Things. That was good. Yeah, the Hallmark movie Soulmate Search, where I played the scrupulous real estate agent who got busted.
Hallmark, I heard, is great to work for, though. You start getting roles in it.
Yeah, well, it legitimized me with my in-laws. Like, you know, my mother-in-law, like, oh, cool, all right. So
what does he do? Oh, he's a Hallmark.
There you go. Now I can share to my friends, and it's all good. And it's not horror or anything like that. She can actually show it. It's, you know, it's all good. It's fine.
Yeah, so it sounds like you already got another role after Stranger Things you can't talk about, which is cool.
No, yeah, it's a feature film. It's
Hold on one sec. One sec.
okay. So the horror film, it's more of a suspense horror, and I play a detective, Detective Wilmington, and I am trying to figure out how this person got really hurt. Come to find out, there's more to the story than we first let on, and it delves into a lot of creepier things down the road. And I wish I could say more about it, but that's all we're kind of really doing. So I'll tell
Sorry
you.
about that. I did hear you. I did hear you.
Yeah, it's okay.
I just had to do something real quick. But yeah, no, I'm really glad that things are taking off, and I'm glad this Kickstarter is going so well for you because I know you're excited. And whenever you start a Kickstarter, it's got to be stressful. It's like how to
Yeah,
get people rolling in it and advertising and I wasn't even going to do any podcasts for a while, but it was like you got this coming out, and I hadn't talked to you in a while. I'm here like let's get something going
yeah,
and talk about you catch up because we hadn't and people getting on board with the zombies were human too because that the roles and then you guys can follow Austin on Facebook. I mean, incredible artist, you know, actor, writer. I mean, you definitely have the talent for a lot of things. You've directed,
yeah,
right? I
yeah.
mean, you've done it. You've done a lot in this business, and you've been in this business for a long time.
It's been 10 years. I'm actually helping produce a Christmas short film called The Santa Letter. So I just signed on for that. So we're doing that, which is great.
That's cool. You need. Were you not supposed to say that?
No, my wife's being a little naughty with me. She's trying to.
Oh, well,
I
I mean, have you ever thought of? Oh, what's that?
I said I told her I'm trying to be professional here.
Oh, forget it. Not on my show. you know, you know how that goes. What are you filming all your? I take it this is your room. You film all your auditions in now.
Yeah, yeah.
Your
This is my
tripod.
studio. Yeah, this is my art table. I do my artwork. This is my where I film my stuff, and we have a 3D printer now to make 3D stuff. That's all new. It's super cool. I have.
I bought a 3D printer, and now that I got the house, I finally want to try to learn how to use it and make some little small items.
Oh,
And
dude, so
it's
cool.
just been sitting in a box in my storage unit. So
Yeah, we did it. We had it was like sitting around here for 4 or so months, and then we tested a couple things, and then now my wife and my son, they have like ideas of all these different things that are going to get done. So which is great. And yeah, it's just like 4-color or something. It's bamboo, I think is the name of it. But yeah, yeah, it's amazing the different things that you can now make with a 3D printer. It's endless. You just have to make sure you have the right files to print properly. But dude, just the things that you can do, it's just incredible.
do you know how to do? I got a great file guy. So if you ever need something, just let me know. I mean, he did a lot of the files that a lot of my friends do, and I imagine it's kind of cool. You as an artist, maybe wanting to test your skills on some things like that, and having your own merchandise, being able to say
Yeah.
have a zombies, know,
Mm,
necklace or ring or just like you said, you can almost do anything with it. You can
yeah.
even print out your figures, which
Yeah.
is cool. I'd be
Originally,
the first one on the mime.
the what?
I'd be the first one on the mime.
Oh yeah. Oh, Mime Zombie had like a bust of that. Dude, that would be freaking
Yeah,
incredible.
I mean, well, a lot of the characters and a lot of the zombies you got, they're really unique and like we talked about it, a lot of different artists drawing them, so you get a lot of different varieties of zombies to it. But that's cool. You're doing the 3D printing,
Yeah.
and yeah. Like I said, I've been wanting to just print out small things. There's no way I could do, say, what Lonnie or something does. I don't have that artistic skill, but to make something cool, like I got a file for the Doomsday's Krypt. People can do the big ones, but printing
Yeah.
out a keychain or something with the file, it's always cool to have. And like I said, I don't know if you have a file guy, but if you ever need something, let me know. I'll lead you to
Yeah.
my guy. He's really good, really, really good.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Yeah, I'll totally go with that.
Yeah.
Now, with 3D printing and stuff like that, I know you're working with Joe Castro on some really cool stuff.
Oh yeah. I was just talking to him before the show.
Yeah,
Yep.
good dude. Yeah, like Joe. I was lucky to meet him at MegaCon 2 years ago. Yeah, he won a Lifetime Achievement Award at the film festival.
I might not have known him then. Was that the one you were at that I came and saw you with my parents, or was that a year after? Was it really?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was fun, but it was so big, and then my mom's scooter died in the middle of it. The battery.
Dude, yeah, I'm not surprised. This past year was twice as big. It was insanely huge.
It's a huge con, huge con. I was not in the best of shape walking through there, and it was hot, and it was just getting in there. But it was an amazing con. I mean, I was kind of wowed because I didn't even know what was going on. It was cool. You were there. I was like, because I didn't even know you were there. We just kind of located the con. We're like, oh,
yeah,
there's Austin. So, yeah, but it was really cool. Chevy Chase was there. We walked right by Chevy Chase and Christy Brinkley, and that was kind of cool. My mom's trying to, because he was in a scooter. My mom's trying to scoot up to him and chase him. I'm like, Ma, you can't do that. But she don't care. You know my mom. She don't give a damn.
Don't care. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's really cool. I did not know Joe at the time, and yeah, Joe's we got some really cool stuff. Joe's amazing. Like I told you, I'd love to see you guys collaborate on something down the road because you're such a fantastic writer, and he's fantastic at what he does. He's showing me what he's doing because we're doing the transformation of Danny Hassel, Dan Jordan. He did the wires the one time. We're going to do that even more custom, like spot on outfit on top. And then he's doing the second part of his death scene in part 5. And he was showing me what he's working on. It's like, wow, it's going to be insane because he's doing it spot on.
That's so dope.
Yeah, he's a special talent, that's for sure. And that's what I've been lucky. I meet guys like you who are really special talents in what you do. Guys like Joe are really special talents in what they do, and it's like, wow, you see what you do or what you write or what you draw or what he makes in his workshop, and it's like, wow, this is just unbelievable. It's just so much time and so many years that you guys have put into it, and I love seeing you guys do well. That's very, I loved seeing that you were in Stranger Things. I would love seeing you continuing with, because doing comics is not easy, especially on Kickstarter. I mean, I gotta say that's probably one of the hardest things there is. And for you to keep continuing and doing well with your series, I was so glad that you were starting another Kickstarter. That's why I wanted to talk to you too, because I genuinely love the series you got. So
yeah. Well, so 2025 was more about prepping for Stranger Things to come out and working on a lot of film stuff. So I was really busy with that. And I didn't want to lose my focus from the film stuff that was going on. So I kind of put the comic book thing to the side. But then once it came out and I was starting to do a lot more horror shows, that I'm like, okay, I have more stories that I've been thinking about doing. If we're going to do it, let's go big. You don't have to worry about Diamond because Diamond don't have the chokehold that it had for distribution. You can try to figure different things out. And I came up with that idea for the new Survivors, and then that all came about breaking apart, and then getting different zombie artists to start doing stories. And that's how I thought, well, Jonathan really needs to be focused because Jonathan, he's one of the nicest people in comic books. Him and his wife are fantastically and stupidly talented. So the fact that I can produce a comic book featuring his stories, to me, is a privilege, because seeing from when he did his first book till now, talk about growth. You think I has grown and done a lot of cool stuff. John is just, him and his wife are just blowing up. They live in Italy now and they're just taking over the European market. So I'm so happy. And he's such a nice guy, and he's really helping promoting too. And a lot of people love his stories. I mean, Bleeding Cool did a story on us doing a Kickstarter. Now I've been trying to, like Rich, for years I've been sending him things that I've been doing, whatever. So doing this, he says, I love Jonathan. Let me know more about it. Oh, Stranger Things is even better. So that me being on Stranger Things, I think, has given a little bit of a boost, but I think it's more because of John and the quality of the stuff that he does helps the comic book. And it's only going to make the graphic novel that much better because the writers that we have are experienced, and with new ones too, but they're all new. They haven't really done previous work. which to me is exciting because the quality is just as good as what we've done previously, and having new people for fans to meet and enjoy is just incredible to me.
You get to watch them grow and gain the experience and give them the knowledge that you've learned. And plus, sometimes that somebody new who's been kind of getting into it, you get a fresh kind of take that maybe you didn't think about at times, I'm guessing too.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so much that can go well with it. Having the big time experience, the newcomers, and then everybody in between, and having those different things. And it shines in the book. It really shines in what you do. It shines not just with the comic books, but you do that a lot in what you do with your acting and every aspect of your life and everything you work on. That's what I've always liked about you. You've always been that guy that whenever I've met, always great to everybody, always loves to talk about your experience and your knowledge and the things and want to share and want to learn from other people too. Like you always, which I always see as a great artist and writer in this, is somebody who always wants to get better and improve with everything, but also wants to share the knowledge they have.
It's hard when you're a creative person because you just want to, express your creativity, give it to people and have them really love it. When you have to make it a job and you want to make money at it, it makes it hard. However, you have to have the focus and the mindset that you want to have high quality. You want to really make sure you got a high bar. And I learned that when I started working in comic books and then doing other things in design or whatever. I've always had that mentality. And that's what I did in film. I was going to do it professionally. I was going to put 100% in. I was going to invest time, money to make sure that I'm constantly improving and doing better. And then I want to have other people that are working with me to be able to be elevated also. I've had a lot of mentors over the years that have helped me become somewhat successful. I still talk to them now. Who am I not to do the same thing? Who am I to not help that person with something I've learned, or as a poker knowledge, my bad beats, you know what I mean? So they don't have to try to go down the side road that's all dirt and potholes. Keep them on the straight and narrow on the 4-lane highway so it's nice and smooth for them, And that only helps the genre as a whole grow. If you have a new generation of younger talent and you're consistently knocking them down or discouraging them because you're afraid of, holding on to your little bit, it's just everything's going to suffocate and die. You've had your time, you've had your experience, help the next generation. That's only going to help the genre be better. And in the long run, they'll be more successful than you. I've had a lot of people I've mentored over the years that are widely more successful than I am, and I couldn't be happier. I just giggle every time they do something super cool. And I think to myself, if I had even an inkling in helping them be that or do that, then I think that's really cool.
It's an awesome attitude. And I mean, you're really successful in your way that, for yourself, where I don't think you need to be like that anyway. And you're not that person. No. And that's what I've always really enjoyed about you. And you have that thing where I always say teams win championships. You have the right people around you, like with what you're working with Zombies, something great and creative and special can happen. Yeah. And I do think Zombies, we're human too. It'd be a great, even, cartoon or live action type deal. It's definitely got that vibe to it, which I'm sure you've thought about doing, because the story's kind of written almost like a script in some ways.
Yeah, I've always, even before I got into film working, I wrote my comic book strips like I was making a movie, because at the time I never thought I'd be able to. This is like the closest I can get to be working in film, is being to create these storylines and do this artwork, this unique art form, which is comic books. And that's how I always thought about it. So then once I'm actually in, I continue to do the same thing. To go to your point about this, I would love to make this as an animated series, kind of like, the, what's it? Love, Death, and Robots. What's that one? Love, Robots, something. It's on Netflix. I forget what it's called. I'm so sorry. I don't remember.
I haven't seen it yet, but I know what kind of you're talking about, though.
Yeah, each story has a different art style, which I thought was really cool. But doing it as an animated sort of series, I think would work extremely well and work with the art and the different art styles to go with the comic books too.
And I think the color black and white would really contrast well on that
But
too.
yeah,
As
yeah,
well. Yeah, the art style plus the color schematics that you tend to use to tell the stories. I think
yeah,
that'd be really neat, man. I mean, I'm waiting for that big thing for you because you got that in you. You know, you got those stories. I think, you know, zombies is one of those stories. I think you've done some really good things that enough people start paying attention to it and really hearing about it, they're going to enjoy it. They're going to enjoy it. And that's all it takes is that one opportunity. I know you got it coming for you, man. You work too hard. You put too much into it, and you're too talented for it not to happen. So I'm waiting for you to have the Hollywood red carpet, you know, runs there, man, and really presenting something special because you put so much heart into it and you put so much care into it and you do it with so much passion and so much skill and talent. Because like you said, you start off, you were an artist at first, and then comic books, and then you added acting and film and all that other stuff. You got the right people around you. So, you know, growing not just as an artist to start, you were always drawing. I saw the old pictures you showed me, you know, to where you're going, and then you get into acting. You're always expanding your knowledge. How much does that help sometimes? Like going from, you know, you kind of touched on it, but the comic to acting and acting to comic, is there certain things that has just helped enormously between the two on one side and on the other, like where comics really helped you in the acting part and then acting kind of gave you some ideas? I think The Walking Dead's a good example. When it
yeah,
was really good, the comic was really good, the show was really good for 3 4 seasons, and they added so much between the two that
yeah,
when it got brought to life, I'd say the first 4 seasons was some of the best television ever.
yeah. The different comic books and the characters that they create, some of them are very interesting, and I'm like, well, that's cool. I like how that's written, or I like how that character acts while, or how you're saying it. So I'll take different bits and I'll kind of keep it in my head to kind of try with auditions and possibly book roles. Um, and same thing with acting is that you're on set and you're seeing the broad scope of what the storyline is going to be for visuals. When it goes back to comic books, it gives me different images to go to when I'm trying to create new storylines and new books and all that sort of thing. And it just feeds your creativity as a whole. You know what I
It
mean?
builds that
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Oh, it just totally levels you up. 100%. Yeah.
So what's one of your favorite things about filming? Like everybody's got a different, is it like the production design of the set? So does that give you like a lot of inspiration to like art and what you're doing and what you're seeing in your head now? Like where we're talking the transition. So say you see an amazing set, it's like I never saw it like that, and bringing certain atmospheres together.
Dude, so for Stranger Things, the sets that we were on, the equipment that they use to make everything how you see in the tiny little frame is just absolutely incredible, and the detail that's put into while doing so, you know, the atmosphere, the color palettes, all that comes into the storytelling, not just the acting and the words. It's pretty much everything. So that's helped me when I'm creating comic books and stories, is understanding the color elements better than what I had before, thinking of new color palettes to help tell the story on different backgrounds and everything that we're putting our characters into also, I think is interesting. um it's it's not quite so different, but in the same part it completely is. But for film, I like watching everything behind the scenes get done before actions is called, and then once that's done, I can just focus 100% on my words and the moment and go about doing it and have an understanding that the professionalism that's done around me is I don't have to worry about anything else. So in comic books, if I have the right professionals and they're doing what they're all supposed to be doing and building what it's supposed to be building, I could focus on what I'm doing and know everything's going to be great. And the quality and the level that I want it to be, that's what's going to be. That's why finding the right people, going back to it, is the most important thing. Now it's, you know, trial and error. You'll find some that works good, that doesn't work good. Sometimes they might not like the way I do things, and that's perfectly fine too. You know what I mean? But you don't know unless you try. I love acting. I like directing, and I like doing stories. I like, creating elements, but it's not something that I have to do. Where in comic books, I like writing and creating comic books more than the art side of it too. Like I love doing covers, but the interiors and all that, to me, I'm not as fast as I used to be. I don't have the eyesight I used to be. I have arthritis in the hands. So physically, I'm not able to do to the level that I used to do. So that turns me off. So writing and producing comic books, it gives me great joy now. And being able to work with other people to get there I think is pretty cool too. So it's a dichotomy. Yeah.
Well, does it with the panels, it gives you, since it's your book, it gives you kind of that directing quality too, where you can observe, without having to do with the arthritis. Trust me, I know about it. I played my guitar for 5 minutes yesterday, and then I got a shooting pain right there. My carpal tunnel kicked in, and I was like,
yeah,
all right, like 2 days of severe pain. I'm like, I can't believe this. I mean, at first I thought I broke. I turned 50, and now this stuff's happening. I'm falling apart.
Yeah. I don't. Ugh. Oh, poor us being in our 50s and everything.
It sucks. Yeah. But I one of the things I bet too with what I was saying is, you've seen like what can go from page, and now you've seen it from being on set so much.
Yeah.
It's like, this will work. There's no way we could turn it. So, but if I'm looking at this as a TV and I'd like it to become a show or a possibility, even if you can go far out, but these scenes will work really well. These sets will work.
Yeah.
This can realistically be done and look good. Where, it's definitely a different balance.
Yeah, for my comic books, I try to set it up so pretty much most, if not all, can be used to be translated as storyboards for any film project. That's the ultimate goal. You talk about The Walking Dead, and Robert Kirkman wrote an amazing series, and the art was fantastic. And I thought that if anybody picked that up and did it panel for panel, exactly the way he wrote it, the series would have been even better than what it was. But the fact that it was on AMC, there were certain restrictions that are things he couldn't do. So
The comic was brutal. I mean, there's certain characters I really enjoyed. I loved how they fleshed out Shane compared to the comic book, because he was such a small version. But I'm with you. The prison time in the prison was brutal.
Yeah.
Carol was such a different character. Tyrese, Tyrese was a much different character than he was in the show. And there was so many things. Yeah, well, I'm with you, where it was so good. It was so good. And obviously, I started the show before I read the comic. But once you get to about season 2, it's like, there's a comic of this. I got to read it and catch up on this.
See, I read the comic book. And then when I heard that the series was coming out, I was so excited, and I watched season 1, and I was all into it. This is really great. And then they go to the CDC, and I'm like, wait, what? What the hell are we going here for? What is this for? And then the season ended, and I'm like,
yeah, I get it. I get it.
I understand now why they're doing what they're doing, because they have the network that they had, and there's only so that they can do.
I think some things worked, and I think once the network, after and I mean, you went from Darabont, I love Frank Darabont. It did definitely have a different vibe, and it was more the show. And I think everybody did an amazing job, especially the first 4 seasons. But it feels like AMC just came in heavy and just totally watered that down. I think it affected the comic too,
to a point. Yeah. Now, The Boys just ended. Now, to me, incredible way they adapted the comic book to the TV series. And even though it was on Max, there's some things they just did not put in that the comic book had.
I read both. Yeah.
Yeah. And the choices that they made to not put in the series, I think, helped it more, because you can try to be as truthful as you can to the comic book to the detriment. And I think they found the fine line where they got it right while being giving homage to the comic book as much as they can. I feel I loved the brutal. It was just so good. And
Anthony
was
Starr is amazing. Yeah, I mean
dude.
the whole cast was
Oh,
really good.
just so good.
I
Yeah,
mean, you give me. I've watched it a bunch of times, and I definitely became a boys hardcore fan.
yeah,
I mean, I'd met Garth Ennis, which was cool to meet him. Quiet guy. I became a huge boys fan. I loved. I mean, it's tough to finish any show, as we all know.
oh
But
yeah,
I love season 1 through 3. 4 had good episodes. 5 had some really great moments in it too. I really love what they. I mean, in a lot of the characters they fleshed out well. The Deep was much better in the show than he was in the comic.
hmm
A Train was far better in the show than he
yeah.
was in the comic. Most of the characters, and Anthony Starr as Homelander was, he
The
made
fact,
that show, and Carl Urban were
dude, the fact that he wasn't nominated for any Emmys through the entire series is just absolutely beyond me. I don't understand. I mean,
he
this
was
is this is Heath Ledger level acting that he put into that role, portraying that character, and it's just incredible to me. The governor was, oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I met the governor at Scarefest, and he was such a nice guy. He was big. He's taller than I expected him to be.
yeah, yeah, he is.
But a super nice guy. I think they did like I love the comic governor, but I also love the show governor.
Yeah,
Like I thought they did so well with both of those
Mhm.
characters. But yeah, I sent because Tony's a big Walking Dead fan, and she was a big Governor fan. He was there, and I made sure I got her an autograph from him. And he was a great guy. I mean, like, man, I miss you so much on the show because he was probably my all-time favorite villain on that show because he was straight up a villain.
yeah,
Yeah, there was no. I
no,
mean, he might have had some points, but he was a villain. Shane really was never a villain. Negan was kind of his villain in his own way, but not a villain, as we know as the series went on. But Governor, that man was a nut job, and that guy played that role perfect.
I agree.
But yeah, I love the boys. I did, and I almost missed that it's gone. I mean, um, losing Butcher and Homelander in a sense was
Yeah, but that's how it
spoiler
was.
alert was. But I
Yeah,
mean, you knew it was coming if you read the comics or you had a good feeling. Um, yeah, they couldn't transition the comics the way it was. There was so much. It was very inspired the show where The Walking Dead had more similarities. The boys, the comic and the show, very very different. The same but different. Had the same vibe of
yeah,
superheroes and their egos, and if they were real and they had powers and power, what
yeah.
would they do with it and how would they be?
I think with The Walking Dead, the problem was is that they they saw popularity of some characters and they made sure that they gave them a lot more limelight and took away from the storyline, which was The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? Like Dixon, right?
Yeah, he wasn't in there.
He wasn't supposed to be there at all. He was made up and he stayed all the way through. I mean, he's a great character. You know what I mean?
But they
But
have plot armor, him, Carol. I mean, it got to a point where the thing that made the show great for me when I first started, well, you never knew who you could lose.
yeah,
And after it got on, there was just certain characters you knew you weren't losing.
yeah, yeah.
And he was supposed to be Merle, which I'm glad. I can't think of his name. He was a huge actor.
Oh
Um,
yeah, no,
but
no.
that was one of my favorite written characters all time was Merle Dixon. I mean, his redemption arc was, from when you meet him in the first episode
Mhm.
to where his arc went because it couldn't have been a bigger piece of crap.
He was this way. He redeemed himself well, which was rare.
Michael,
It's very rare that you can get that sort of thing. And they try to do that with Negan, but it's just
it didn't work for me the way it did because
and
Merle had a beginning and an end, and that arc worked real well,
yeah,
and his connection with his brother mending fences,
yeah,
his hardcore, growing up and who he was, and it really his ending arc with Michonne and the way, you know, she in a way changed him, you know, and in the way he redeemed himself. That was my favorite. One of him and Shane were my favorite two characters in the show.
I hear that. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, Merle was definitely one of the, to me, one of the best redemption arcs of all time on television that I saw.
Yeah,
you know, because it didn't overdo it.
No,
Didn't give plot armor. It gave him a story, and
Yeah.
it really arced to a full, you know, to a beginning to an end, and it did it well.
I agree. Yeah.
But I'm so happy for you, man. I'm gonna drop the link. We're gonna share things out.
Thanks.
Let everybody know what you're up to. The Kickstarter, Zombies, We're Human too. You guys got to check it out. Stranger Things. Which episode was it? Was it 3 or 4?
So yeah, the best episode for season 5, episode 4, the sorcerer, man. Yeah, that's when Will got his powers.
That's right. So you guys check that out. Look for Austin. He's in there. Cool role. Awesome show. Congratulations on that. Is there anything else you got to tell people that, you know, we'll check out or you got coming up and to look for you in?
Yeah. So if for horror shows, there's a Triangle TerrorCon that's happening in September. That's in North Carolina. So if you're in that area, that's where I'll be. If you're in Florida, I'm going to be at Florida SuperCon next month. So stop by and say hi to that. I'm not doing a lot of shows. And then, yeah, that's really kind of it. Yeah, the Kickstarter, if you could back it, that'd be great.
Yeah.
If it's not really your
I'll be there. I got to keep up with zombies, man. I got to keep up with that. I really love it. And I got to support my friend because I think you definitely deserve it. So I'm going to hit you up on that. I'm going to look at the Kickstarter as soon as when does it end? When does the Kickstarter run to?
It runs to June 8th.
All right. Perfect. I got you. I'm going to get my special order. And the hardest part about ordering on your Kickstarter is, like we said, so many great perks and so many great value in it. It's tough to pick one. I think I had that trouble the last time. It's like, which one do I want? Which one do I want? They're so good because there's different covers.
Why yourself? There's almost just pick that and go some add-ons and mix it up and get your best thing that you want.
Well, I'm a big fan of the series, so I gotta keep up with it. And I gotta get a cool perk with it. So that's on my to-do list. And you guys check it out. We'll be dropping the link. I'll be sharing the link as well. If I don't do it tonight, because I got a few things I got to do, we'll be sharing it out in the morning. I shared it out in these links. Austin, feel free to share it out, or anything you need. You always know, me and you are friends. You just it's been too long since we've joined each other and sat down and talked, and we'll do it again sooner, man.
That'd be amazing, man. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for everyone who was here kind of saying hi and chatting. Find me on social media if you have questions about Stranger Things or other things. Happy to chat. Or if you just want to say hi, that's cool too. But dude, so good to see you. You look great. And
you look good too, man. I'm real happy for you, man. And like I said, we're going to keep more in touch. Life gets so busy. I tell everybody this, and it just, before you know it, it's a year. And I think it's been a good year since we've caught up. So
yeah. Sooner than later, man. All right. You have a good night. We'll talk to you later. Bye, everyone.
Too, brother.
Thank you.